In today's lesson, you're still working with translations, except for this time you don't have graphs to use. So we've taken the visual away and you're just going to work with the ordered pairs. All right, in order to be successful with this, it's important that you understand the coordinate plane and how movement on the coordinate plane works. First of all, x-axis is our horizontal axis, which means if I were going to move along that line, I would be moving left or right. So when you read the words left or right, it is referring to something happening to the x. Now, let's remember, moving to the left means we're subtracting. So if it says, say, left 2, that means 2 is being subtracted from the x. If it's right, well, a right movement is adding. So that would tell you how much to add to the x-axis. All right, let's focus on the y-axis. The y-axis is our vertical axis. Notice it goes up or down. So you're going to, if you read the words up or down, it means something's happening to the y's. So let's look at movement on that. If we go up, that's adding. So if you read up 5, you will add 5 to the y. Okay, look at going down. Down is subtracting. So say if you read down 5, that would mean you would subtract 5 from the y. All right, so let's look at how this works. This one gives me the point 1, 3. It says move it 5 to the left and 1 unit up. All right, left. Left means I'm going to subtract onto the x. How many am I going to subtract? I'm going to subtract 5. So what I'm going to have to do to get I prime is I'm going to have to take the x, which is a 1, and subtract 5 from it. All right, let's go ahead and figure out what I have to do to that. 3, the y value, says go 1 unit up. Up is add, and how many? 1. So I prime is going to be at 1 minus 5 is negative 4, and 3 plus 1 is 4. There's my coordinates for I prime. All right, this one is going to be given to you in notation, which means you really don't even have to interpret now. It tells you exactly what to do to the x, add 1, and then exactly what to do to the y, subtract 2. So d prime would be at, here's my x, I'm supposed to add 1 to it, and then here's my y, I'm supposed to subtract 2 to it. So d prime ends up at 4 comma negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. All right, this one has 3 different points, so that tells me it's a triangle. I have to do each one of them separately. So I'm going to change how I show my work a little bit. Let's first interpret 5 to the left means subtract 4 on all the x's. So I'm going to write minus 4 underneath all of these x's. And now 4 units down, down means minus, so minus 4 also onto all the y's. So this one is just take away 4 from actually every value. Let's go ahead and do it for the k. K prime, 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. All right, L prime will be at 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. And then M prime is at 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So you can kind of show your work whichever way works best for you. All right, let's go ahead and look at this one. This one tells me there's no interpretation, exactly what to do to all of those x's. So underneath all the first values, I'm going to write minus 6. And now the y's, I've got to write underneath those the second values plus 4. All right, u prime, let's go ahead and do the math. 2 minus 6 is negative 4. Negative 3 plus 4 is positive 1. All right, v prime, 5 minus 6 is negative 1, and 0 plus 4 is 4. And now w prime, 3 minus 6 is negative 3, and negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. There's the coordinates of the new triangle. All right, and then your last example, last set of problems on your page today is where you've got to figure out what happened. Here's the pre-image, the original figure, and here's the translated image. So choose a set of points to focus in on. It's kind of random, not really. It makes sense to me to go with the first ones. And I've got to figure out what happened with X and Y. What did they become? Well, let's figure out what happened with the X. 2, what would I do to a 2 to get to -3? Well, it decreased in value, so that's subtract. And then how many? Well, from 2 to 0 would be subtract 2, but then I've got to go all the way to -3, so that's 3 more. That's a total of -5. Now let's figure out what's happening with that y. -5 becomes 2. All right, that increased in value, so that is an add. All right, let's think. -5 to 0 is add 5, but I got to go 2 more. So that means I went a total of 7. So in notation, the rule is x and y becomes x minus 5, y plus 1. If I'm asked to translate that in words, I would say it's 5 units to the left and 7 units up. Remember, this one's either going to be left or right. This one's going to be up or down because of that idea of horizontal and vertical movement.